And now, it's the Still Unnamed Podcast. With your hosts, Pete and Mark.
Hey kids, and welcome to another exciting edition of the Still Unnamed Podcast. I'm Pete Salas, along with
Mark, the bastard of House Rodriguez. House sigil, laughing crying emoji. House motto, brr, it's cold in here. There must be some toros in the atmosphere.
It's a fucking long one.
Yeah, I've been watching
Is that a game of, I was going to say, that sounds like a game of, what was that again? The Bastard?
Mark, the bastard of House Rodriguez.
Oh, that's not nice.
I am. So it's okay.
Okay. Well, what are you doing?
That's how I always drink water.
No, you don't. Oh my God. He just deep throated a bottle of water.
I did not deep throat it. I wrapped my lips around.
But you maintained eye contact. You're so fucking weird. Oh, I can't do this. I can't do this. Oh my God. What the hell is wrong with you? Why would you look at me?
I don't know. It felt weird when I did it. Oh, shit.
Oh God, I don't know where to go from here.
We could talk about Game of Thrones.
When does that start? It's like soon, right? Like next week?
Like less than a month. I want to say like 3 weeks.
Okay, so it's in April?
Yes.
Okay, I thought it was in March, but okay. Cool. Game of Thrones is coming back, so you're all caught up. I thought you didn't watch that.
Actually, we didn't. We started last week.
Oh, God.
And we've seen all of season 1 in 1 week, and we've seen most of season 2.
Okay.
And we have about 2 episodes left of season 2. We're trying to just power through every episode of Game of Thrones.
It's a tough watch. It is. I mean, it's a badass show. It's amazing.
It's really good.
I love it. But I could not be one of those people who binges that show. I don't know why. That just doesn't. It was hard for me to watch. Like if I fell like 2 weeks behind, 2 or 3 weeks, and I knew that I had to watch 2 tonight, basically, I couldn't do it. It was just too much.
One now and then I guess one tomorrow or in the middle of the week.
I guess you gotta pace yourself. At least I have to pace myself with that show specifically.
Well, Alyssa's a trooper and she loves to binge shows.
I love to binge shows too. It's just something about that show. The other one I have trouble with, honestly, The Walking Dead. Love them. Love both shows. I'm a fan of both shows, but I cannot binge those. I don't know why. 30-minute shows, I can knock them out. Like, for instance, just FYI, sidebar, but not a very big one. I started The Office again. This is probably no shit. I'm not even joking. This is probably like the 12th time.
Wow.
And
so, okay, when you say, because I often have questions about people who say, oh, I'm rewatching The Office. Do you watch it from the beginning and then watch the whole series?
Season 1, episode 1. Yes, sir.
Wow. Because like occasionally I'll be like, I kind of want to watch something I'm familiar with. I will, like, let's say, go to Netflix. I'll randomly pick a season and I'll randomly pick an episode.
No, I can't do that. Like, if I'm going to rewatch a show, I'm going to start from the beginning.
Wow. I have no patience for that.
No, it's so easy for me. So easy. Like, I don't know why. It's comfort. It's like comfort food. You know, it's just something that I'm familiar with, something I know. It's a world that I love that's not at all like the real world that I'm living in. And I'm just like, you know.
It's a cute show. It's fun. Well, it's so...
Anyway, binging shows. You're binging the Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
and,
the Office Game of Thrones.
Yeah. What do you think so far?
Well, the whole reason we're binging it is because Alyssa's friends are going to have like a Game of Thrones
premiere party.
Oh, and they were giving her shit about like, oh, how can you go to our party if you don't watch all the Game of Thrones?
Well, first of all, Alyssa and party are not two words that go hand in hand very often.
That's exactly
Was she even looking forward to going to this party?
Well, they said, how can you come to our premiere party if you haven't seen all the episodes? And Alyssa's like, well, then I just won't go.
Okay.
And they're like,
so
no,
she
you
found
can't.
The loophole.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're right. You're absolutely right. I can't make it because I haven't seen all the episodes. Boom.
But one of her friends told her she had, like a close friend of hers, like you have to watch it. So we're watching it, and this is actually our second time watching it. The first time we watched it, we saw about 4 episodes. This was like I want to say maybe 5 years ago or something.
Okay.
So it was a while ago.
I remember trying to have a conversation with you a few years ago about it, and you were like, "No, we don't really watch it. We're not into it." The reason you gave me at the time was because there's a lot of chi-chis in it.
Yeah.
Are you finding that to be an issue anymore?
Not so much anymore.
Okay, good. I'm glad you've matured in the last 5 years.
I don't have a problem with Chi-Chis. Alyssa has a problem with me looking at Chi-Chis.
Okay.
But no, that wasn't it. It was also like pretty. It was a thick show. It was a thick show to get through.
Explain thick, because we might be talking the same reason behind.
Like it was. So the first couple of episodes was just world building. Mm-hmm. So we were just like, man, I think we were in the middle of or towards the tail end of Breaking Bad. So we were also watching that. Mm-hmm. And we were already so invested in Breaking Bad that we were just like, let's just watch Breaking Bad instead.
Right.
Because there was just so much world building and so many characters and there was so much lore that we had to prepare ourselves for, and we just weren't having any of it. And then this time around, we started it. We saw episode 1, and we're like, okay, yeah, I remember this completely. Mm-hmm. And then slight spoilers for episode 2 of season 1.
For those of you Game of Thrones fans who haven't seen it,
so cover your ears. Mm-hmm. Pete, put a time code. Don't put a time code. Got it. In the second episode, where the assassin came to try to murder that crippled little boy, I forgot his name. I don't remember.
Bran?
That sounds about right.
I think so.
And the mom was in the room with him, and she has the knife against her neck, but she's holding it back with her hands.
Oh yeah.
And the assassin's trying to freaking take care of business, and then his dire wolf comes out and freaking attacks that assassin. Oh, yeah. It was such an intense scene, and the scene was so it was so emotional and heavy. And I turned to Alyssa, I was like, do you remember any of this? And she turns with misty eyes and she's like, that's a good doggy. So
we did a good doggy.
Yeah.
Oh man, I think we have a title for the episode.
She was not, so if they didn't get the spoilers, they're not gonna understand this.
That's fine.
But yeah, we did not give it its fair shot because we have really, really been enjoying it.
Good.
We tore up about 7 episodes.
Have you made it to
1.
A very infamous episode? I don't recall what season it is, but it's referred to as the Red Wedding.
We have not gotten there yet.
Oh my God.
But I'm familiar with Game of Thrones.
Talk about fucking gripping television.
Yeah, I know Alyssa's gonna listen to this, so I kind of just want to dance around it.
I'm not gonna say anything, but Jesus H Christ, that is one hell of a scene.
Yeah,
one hell of a scene.
I'm excited about that. I'm excited about so many things that I don't want to talk about on the microphone. But
well, you brought it up, so
yeah. But
this is your own fault.
Yeah, it's a good show, and I apologize to everyone that recommended it to me. And I was like, man, I tried to watch it, but I wasn't really into it. Yeah. But yeah, I'm totally into it now. We're super invested, and I told Alyssa hey, prepare yourselves because we're going from maybe at least 2 episodes a night, and then we're gonna have to go 1 weekly.
Right.
Are you okay with that? And she was like, well, I'm gonna have to be.
Well, do you guys have cable?
We don't.
So you're gonna stream it or figure out a way to watch it?
We're gonna find a way.
Okay, so either way, if that's the case, then you don't technically have to live week to week. You could let a couple build up.
Yeah, we could, but
that's what I'm gonna do.
That's not what Alyssa does.
Okay.
She needs to be up to date. Speaking of The Walking Dead, we haven't seen any episodes this season.
I haven't seen this season at all either. Nothing.
I felt like last
I know that Rick left. I don't know if he died or if he just went away or whatever the case is.
either.
But I know that Rick's gone. So
I think he just left. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll get there.
But
I'll get there. But
I enjoyed the ending of last season. That's why I was just kind of like, that's a good place to stop. And then I haven't really had an urge to revisit that place.
well, I developed a very big man crush on Negan.
Well, of course.
I mean, and Jamie already was in love with the actor who plays Negan, Jeffrey Dean.
Mm-hmm.
So
From what?
where she fell in love with him when he played like.
Supernatural?
No. We don't watch Supernatural. God, what was it? It was like a movie where. No, you fucker! You did it again.
I didn't look at you this time.
Yes, you did.
I did?
Yes,
I
you even
apologize.
raised your eyebrows.
For those listening, I just had a tiny swig of water. I was feeling a bit parched.
Anyway, so yes, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Negan, badass character. He's a very welcome breath of fresh air to the show.
Yeah,
that had been a bit stale the last few seasons, in my honest opinion.
Yeah.
But then Negan showed up and busted up. What's his name?
Rick.
No.
Glenn.
Glenn's
Face.
Busted up Glenn's face real good, and I was like, I'm hooked. I'm back.
Mm-hmm.
You got me back, Jeffrey Dean.
And he had strong reasons.
Yep.
And he was a great villain because, like all great villains, he didn't see himself as a villain.
Right. He felt completely justified in the awful behavior that he was doing.
Yeah, he's like, I don't fucking massacre everybody, Rick. I take out one person if y'all are misbehaving just to set you guys straight.
Right.
And then if y'all behave, that's it.
Yeah.
I take care of y'all.
He does chew up the scenery a lot.
Yeah.
In every scene he's in, he definitely tries to be the center of attention.
It fucking works.
Yeah, it does. Well, Rick. It takes him forever to say shit, too. You get through a whole sentence.
What does he say? Something like,
Damn, something like that.
pardon my fucking French.
Yeah.
He's just so fucking cool.
He is really cool.
Oh, and have you read the graphic novel? Have you heard him in the graphic novel?
No.
He is crazy. Like, his mouth is just so much, like, he curses so much more.
Okay.
It's so entertaining to read.
So one of the things I wanted to talk to you about also was, have you seen Into the Spider-Verse?
I haven't.
Oh, it's so good, dude.
I really want
It's really
to.
good. And I had people telling me forever that I need to be watching it. I should have watched it. Now I regret not watching it in the theater. So I rented it yesterday, and it is a really good movie. Like, I like animated, films, especially if they're, comic book related.
Yeah.
But this one was like on a whole different level. Like, it was a really legit good movie. And the part of the thing that sold me on it was the voice cast. The voicing is awesome. It's got two of my absolute favorite people in it.
New
first
Girl?
of all. Yes, Nick Miller, or Jake Johnson, but he'll always be Nick Miller to me. He voices Spider-Man, so it's perfect. He's in the whole thing. And my new favorite character that has appeared, Spider-Ham.
Oh, John Mulaney. I fucking love John Mulaney.
I love that guy. He's hilarious. I love the way he delivers lines, and it's basically, you've got John Mulaney in the movie as a little animated spider pig thing, and it is awesome.
Have you, I'm sorry, kind of off topic. Have you heard any of John Mulaney's stand-up?
Yes, I've seen them all.
Dude, he's fucking
The guy
brilliant.
knows how to tell a story.
He's so good.
I think it's his delivery of the way
Yeah.
that he like stutters the way he talks, and he goes up and he goes down,
And then
that's how
occasionally
tells you
he'll
a
punch it.
right, and he'll
give
hit
you
it, he'll
something.
hit it real hard. Yep.
My favorite bit of his is the "What's New Pussycat." That is the fucking best joke. Google it. Go on YouTube. Google John Mulaney. What's New Pussycat? It's so fucking funny. It's so funny. That's
I love
he's up there.
the marketing pitch for Back to the Future. Like, who came up with that? Like, so you've got a 17-year-old boy, and his best friend is He may be 30, he may be 80. We don't know. But he's a disgraced nuclear physicist. And what are we going to call? He has to go back in time to get his parents together. So what are we going to call it? Back to the past? No. Back to the future. It's so good. Man. It's so good. I've been working on my Mulaney voice.
I can tell.
Just so
it's
you know.
Really, really good.
I haven't quite gotten the cadence yet, but I'm working on the timing.
The delivery is very, very spot on.
So,
anyways, Spider-Ham.
I fell in love with that character, probably because I have a man crush on Mulaney, and so much so that I went and I bought the pop. Shh, but don't tell my wife.
Oh, okay.
I did.
Won't tell her.
I did. I bought it. I bought it the minute it ended.
Spider-Ham, the pop?
Spider-Ham pop, yes.
Oh, man, I really want to watch it, but my kids don't have any freaking... They don't have patience to watch things. I got mad at them.
They'll watch it. Grief's kid, he's like 3, I want to say. I think he just turned 3.
Yeah.
Loves it. Watches it every day.
Dexter doesn't have the attention span of a 3-year-old. No, he just seems like he gets bored occasionally. We were at the Monster Truck Show, Monster Jam.
Monster Jam.
You should work on the radio.
I'll put in my resume.
And we saw it Friday night. I was lucky enough to get some tickets at work.
Cool.
And we saw it, and it was entertaining. It was really, really cool. And then like about an hour in, this is maybe an hour and a half to 2 hour show.
Hold on. Sorry. Hold on. I forgot this did this. Monster Jam.
That was so cool. That was, my heart flutters. That was so freaking cool.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. We should just do a show where we play with this all the time. Anyway, go on.
About an hour in, he's like, "Can we leave yet?"
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and they were just like, even Harley, because Harley tagged along because I previously had taken Dexter to the Hot Wheels Monster Truck Show that was at the Bert Ogden Arena.
Okay.
And that was pretty entertaining. And Dexter seemed to have enjoyed that. Well, he doesn't really have a passion for anything, so he was putting up with it. He didn't really seem to hate it that much. And I said, "Do you want to go to this one?" Just like
his uncle.
Yeah, he doesn't have there's no fire in him. I
love that kid.
He's interested in death, and that's it.
God, he really is like me. Anyway.
So we all go, and Harley was like, "Hey, can I go too?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got tickets for you too." Mm-hmm. So the 4 of us went, and we got there, and they were interested, and they really enjoyed the first half. And then after intermission, Harley was just like sitting slouched on her chair, just with her hand on her head, leaning, just kind of like.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I don't know at all.
Is it? I mean, they are like iPad generation.
Yeah.
Like this whole generation of kids is iPad generation or whatever. It's I just coined that phrase.
Yeah.
But they're not the types that like have to have an iPad in order to entertain themselves.
Well, that's what Alyssa and I were blaming, because we ended up leaving early because they were both just complaining the entire time. And Pete, it was so cool. There was like an ATV race where there was this guy. He was driving the Gravedigger car.
Okay.
I'm sorry, the Gravedigger ATV, and he was going up against the Stinger, and the Stinger monster truck was doing a really good job. So what happens is they're teamed up. There's a monster truck, and then they have a team up ATV,
like a dune buggy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they race because they're competing for points.
Right.
The Stinger was like neck and neck with Gravedigger the entire time, because of course everybody knows Gravedigger. He's like bring up my sound, bring up my thing, Gravedigger.
You owe me a beer.
Damn it, that's 2. Where was I? Okay, so they were neck and neck the entire time, and then this was the final race. That it was just the 2 ATVs, because it had been all 8 ATVs in a race, and they were doing eliminations. That if you were in last place after the lap, you're eliminated.
Okay.
And they did that a couple of times until it was just the two of them. And then they stopped the race and then it was just two of them racing. I fucking hated the Gravedigger ATV guy. He was a dickhole. Like, he would ram into people. Like, he would bump people. And, like, it was such an intense race. Like, his wife was one of the ATVs and he bumped the shit out of her.
What?
Yeah. And he was like, yeah, we're just doing it for the fans. What's the fans? Da, da, da. And he's like, well, she don't mind. Da, 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 da. So they started off the race, and that Stinger ATV was freaking hauling ass. And that Gravedigger ATV did not give a fuck. Like, they were, at one point, they did one of the turns, and at the turn, the Gravedigger hit him, and they were like perpendicular to each other.
He T-boned him?
He T-boned him.
Wow.
And they were just not moving. So this was like the last lap. And what ended up happening is Stinger finally frees himself and he does a U-turn really fast and fucking Gravedigger comes around the corner, but fucking Stinger comes around right behind him and fucking just blazes right past him as he's crossing the finish line.
Wow.
He does a fucking papa wheelie. And I was like, I love you, Stinger. It was so cool.
What is the theme for the for Stinger? Is he like a scorpion or is it
He is a
like
scorpion, yeah.
like is it shaped like Sting the musician?
No, it's it's the
Every little thing she does is magic.
that's what he comes out to. But yeah, the kids after that they were kind of like meh. The kids did not even care, and I was like,
okay,
that was so cool, and you guys are frustrating me because I loved it so much.
Well, I'm sorry you had to cut it short due to the damn kids. I hate children.
Yeah, but we blamed it on the iPads. So what we did is,
were they asking for the iPads?
No.
But you just assume that that's
I feel like they have a short attention span because of their iPads.
I see.
All they do is watch YouTube videos all day,
Well,
and those are like 10-minute clips.
Right.
And then they'll watch another 10-minute clip, and then watch another 10-minute clip. So Alyssa and I told them all weekend, you are not allowed to have your iPads, and you're not allowed to watch YouTube on TV, because of course they have the app there on the Roku or the smart TV. Mm-hmm. You can't watch YouTube on TV, and you can't watch TV shows. If you want to watch something, you have to watch a movie.
Okay.
Just so they can get used to the idea
force them to sit down for an hour and 48 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, it worked. They didn't seem like they were in a terribly bad mood. They knew that they had kind of made a mistake by, I don't want to say ruining the night, but they made the night more sour than it needed to be.
Okay.
And so they did pretty good. They watched Spy Kids 2. And they enjoyed the movie. I know when I brought it up on Netflix, Harley was like, because she doesn't really like change and she doesn't like new things. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'm gonna put this movie on for you guys. And she was like, can we watch the trailer? And I was like, absolutely. This is a 1 hour and 40-minute trailer. It's called The Movie. And then I played it.
Good job.
And whenever I would walk past the living room, she was sitting there watching the movie, invested, and the boy was invested too.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, they're okay. They're just a little bit annoying.
Right. Well, that's fine. Okay. Well, speaking of movies, something we didn't talk about, we watched Captain Marvel.
Yes, we did.
We sure did. Well,
opening weekend.
We attended.
We did see it.
We did.
We saw Captain Marvel
yes.
on the big screen.
What did you think?
I give it a B-.
Okay.
Solid B.
Solid B movie.
It was fine. It was not one of the best movies of Marvel's that I've seen, but it was a strong Marvel movie.
What did you think of the ending?
It was. I felt it dragged on. What do you think of the ending?
Well, I will tell you when I watch it again because Mark and I attended the movies. Here's the backstory. I get a phone call or a text rather on like a Wednesday or something, and you said, "Hey, do you want to be my date to the movies on Friday? Because I've got 2 tickets to Captain Marvel." And I said, Yes. I said, well, actually, I said, let me check with management. So I called.
Of course.
I called Jamie and I said, hey, Mark wants me to go to the movies with him. She said, okay, fine, go. So I called you back and I said, I'm in. Cool.
Yeah.
45 minutes later, you text me and you say, hey, I'm sorry to do this to you, but you're uninvited because I'm taking Alyssa. So I was like, oh, okay, well, that's fine. So the next day, you text me again and you say, hey, change of plans again. Alyssa dropped out, so I want you back. You're solid.
I want you back.
Yep. Solid plan B is back in effect. So I said, okay, fine. So Friday, we went. For some reason, you were given the tickets? Or
I was given the tickets.
Okay, they were a gift to you.
Correct. My friend had the tickets. He was going to watch it with his wife. His wife was out of town that evening, and he didn't want to watch the movie twice because he had a feeling he wasn't going to like it.
Okay.
So he said, do you want these tickets? I said, why don't you just get a refund? He's like, I don't want to go through that. Just take the tickets.
Because this guy's made of money.
Yeah,
so
apparently.
We get the tickets. I was kind of leery at the fact, but I went along with it because I didn't want to be a party pooper. This was for the 10:30 showing on Friday.
Yeah.
After a very long week.
It was rough.
It was rough. So we went, and I said, you know what? I don't do this very often, if ever. So I'm gonna enjoy this. I'm gonna do it. We like a true date. You bought me some popcorn.
No, I didn't.
You
bought me popcorn.
I bought you popcorn. That's true. You bought me a Coke with 2 straws. So we sat there and we were munching on some popcorn, and I was drinking my soda, and I was like, yes, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Got through about, 47 minutes of fucking previews. So the movie didn't really start till like 11:10 or some shit like that. It was
bollocks.
crazy. It was crazy. So I build all this up to my point being that Mark and I fell asleep.
Yep.
We legit fell asleep at the movies. I have never done that ever.
Are you serious?
I have never.
Also never fallen asleep in the movies.
I have never fallen asleep at the movies ever. And like I used to go to midnight showings, like midnight releases and whatever, like the opening night, or like when they started moving them to Wednesday night at midnight.
Yeah.
Like I was there. Grief and I were there. We were there for all these movies. I was a trooper. Granted, that was like 15 years ago or something like that. But I did not. I was fading. I was fading midway through the movie.
Really?
I was like doing the blink and head bob thing, and I'm like, oh, come on, man. I never do this. And I was like, I don't want Mark to feel like he made a mistake by inviting me. So I powered through it. And I mean, my only example of how much of the movie I missed, I don't know. Captain Marvel's suit is blue, red, and yellow.
Correct.
And traditionally in comics, always. She was wearing a green and black one throughout the entire movie.
Correct.
Okay? I blinked, and when I opened my eyes again, she had her colorful suit, and I'm like, where the hell did she get that?
Yeah.
I completely missed how that went down and what happened.
You were just out when her costume was out.
I blinked. She had a green and black suit on, and I blinked again, and she was all colorful and fighting on some spaceship. And I last I saw that they were like on Earth. And I'm like, whoa! I think I missed like 30 minutes of that movie.
I think I was out around the same time.
You were, because I looked over at you and you were passed out.
Are you serious?
You were completely asleep.
Wow.
Completely.
And
I was like, oh no. But at the same time, I was like, okay, relieved because I was not the only one. I was not going to shoulder this embarrassment by myself.
So really quick, it's not a bad or boring movie.
No, it's not.
We're just old men. We're the bad, boring old men.
Yes, we are. We are. And I don't know when I became such an old man who would fall asleep during a movie, but I couldn't do it. I could not do it.
I remember watching it, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is fine. Everything's fine. And then I blinked, and then the scene changed.
Okay.
And I was like, whoa, what is going on? Because last I saw, they were all inside of like a cabin.
Right.
And then I blinked and they were in space.
That's exactly where we both fell asleep.
They were like in a spaceship.
Aw, we should have been holding hands.
So I was like, oh shit, I just fell asleep. So I sat up on my chair and then I was staring very, very intently at the screen and I was watching and then I was looking and I was like, okay, I'm on board. I blinked and then they had a cat. And I was like, what? Oh my gosh. Come on, get your shit together. And I'm just like watching and Captain Marvel was like fighting a bunch of dudes, and I was like, okay, this is space time. Mm-hmm. She's fighting. She's freaking earning her name. And I blinked, and then she was back on Earth taking prisoners. And I was like, this is terrible. This is not good.
So I really want to watch it again.
Yes.
After a few Red Bulls, because it was a fun movie. It was fun and it was action and it was good. I don't remember how she got her powers because I might have already been passed out 20 minutes into the film. But something about it, her like she was fused
teacher,
with an alien or something.
She's like a Dothraki.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong show. Wrong complete.
Her Lannisters.
No. But then, her midi-chlorians were off the scale. But
then Jim looked at the camera.
Right. So, yeah, man. We definitely need to try and watch that again because I feel that we did shortchange our experience.
I feel like it'd be great if we just couldn't do it. If we tried again, we gave it a college try.
Yeah, like at 6 p.m. On a Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, after a few Red Bulls, and we still passed out, then that movie just sucked. I don't know. But the Stan cameo was
super cute.
Very, very adorable.
It was very sweet. And of course, when Kevin Smith heard about it, he cried.
Yes, because it's a Stan cameo, but there's a pretty good shout out to Kevin Smith and the View Askew universe, which is really cool of them. I don't know. I mean, I know that Kevin is like he's the darling of the whole geekdom.
Yeah.
You know, but for some very, very high profile movie to give a shout out, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Stan Lee's cameo in Captain Marvel, she runs into him on a train, and he's sitting there and he's holding the Mallrats script, which is because the movie's set in 1993 or something like that. Yeah, when Mallrats was being shot. So it was timeline appropriate. Yeah. He was holding the Mallrats script, and him and Captain Marvel just kind of share a look, and she smiles at him. He smiles back, and it's very sweet.
Yeah, he was like running through his lines. What was he saying? Like something like. Believe me, true believers.
True believers, something like that.
Something true believers.
Anyway, so that was our experience. Mark and I went to the movies, and Mark and I fell asleep.
We slept together.
At the movies, with his hand in my popcorn.
How's your diet coming along?
Diet is going good. It's my 21-day challenge is over as of 2 days ago. Ooh. And you would have thought that I would have run directly, like head first into a buffet,
just
a Chinese buffet.
Put your head up a cow's ass.
Just went and molested a buffet, but no, I did not. I've been good. I had fish tonight, and I'm really going to try and stick to the. I was doing the 21 days of no meat, no cheese, no sugar. I'm definitely going to keep the no sugar. Yeah. I'm definitely going to try and keep the no cheese for sure. At least the processed cheese. Maybe I'll move over to something a little bit more healthy. Yeah. But the no meat thing, I am going to try to stay away from red meat 100%. I'm going to do some chicken, but I'm going to basically turn into a pescatarian.
Is that a kind of not vegetarian, but
it's basically a vegetarian, but you can eat fish and seafood products. So
what's a Presbyterian?
That is not the same thing.
Isn't that a religion?
Yes, it is. And I don't know exactly. I don't know enough to comment on that, and I don't want to piss anyone off. So,
and you're a pescatarian?
A pessimisticatarian? Pescatarian.
Aren't we all, though, brother?
Yeah, that's right.
Life sucks.
Oh, boy. So, anyway, yeah, that's all we had. That's all we got going on right now. It's been a pretty non-productive week. Jamie and I watched The Dirt the other night.
I don't know what that is.
It is a Netflix movie about the life and times of Motley Crue.
Oh, cool.
Because Motley Crue is kind of near and dear to our hearts. We met them. It was one of our first. It was like our first outing out of town back in 2012. Back in 2012. I told you we went and saw Kiss and Motley Crue.
Yeah.
Well, we met Motley Crue. We went backstage and we got to hang out with them for a minute. Took some pictures, got some cool Motley swag. So Motley Crue is kind of part of our early Genesis chapter of our relationship. So it was a good watch. Lots of chi-chis in that one, so you might want to watch out for that.
Oh man, I better not even watch it.
It was cool. It was. I mean, if you like the band, if you like the music, that's basically a love letter to.
Now, I'm not very cool.
Okay.
What's one of their songs? Is it? No, that's Twisted Sister.
They've got their probably most recognizable song is "Girls, Girls, Girls."
Yeah. Once bitten, twice shy, baby.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Girls, girls, girls. Yeah, I got it. No, I know who they are. They're a real Motley Crue, ain't they?
So anyway.
Don't tell my heart. Yeah.
Oh my God. So that was a good movie. It was not too bad. It's speaking of Game of Thrones. Oh, you're not there yet. You're early on. You haven't met what's his name, Ramsey Bolton or something like that.
Michael Bolton?
No, not Michael Bolton.
I like that guy.
I think it's Ramsey. Anyway, he's one of the main
Can you tell me a song of
piece of
Michael
shit
Bolton?
characters. Who?
Michael Bolton.
When a man loves a woman. That's it.
I know that one. Once bitten, twice shy.
You're fucking stupid. All right, I'm gonna wrap this one up here. Sorry we didn't have a lot of content this week. We talked about a bunch of different things, but nothing
all
very
over the
substantial.
place.
Yeah, it is a real all over the place kind of episode. One thing I did want to mention, very excited. I managed to get us on Google Play Music on the podcast section there. So
Nice.
all you got to do is if you've got an Android, works better if you've got an Android. You basically say, "Hey Google," and it's like pops up, and you say, "Play the latest episode of the Still Unnamed Podcast," and it'll say, "Okay, playing the latest episode of the Still Unnamed Podcast," and then it'll go to it, which is kind of cool. And then you say subscribe, and it'll take you to the page where you can then subscribe. And guess what? It puts a Still Unnamed Podcast little logo on your desktop of your phone.
Oh, so you get like a little shortcut.
It's a shortcut, and it
Nice.
also informs you when the newest episodes drop.
They're like, hey,
So
bitch.
that's pretty cool.
New episode.
So yeah, I want to thank everyone who has been supporting. And if you have an Android, go ahead and do that. And because I'm sure I'll get a report of whoever downloads it, and then we're only getting better, even though this show was not an indicator.
But we
of
are
it.
getting consistent.
We are. That is true.
We had nothing and we're like, fuck it, we're going to still do it.
Exactly.
Because we love you.
Exactly.
Each and every one of you.
So please like, share, and subscribe. I haven't said that in a very long time. So like the page, go to tsupodcast.com. There you can find the latest stuff. If we ever actually get off our ass and figure out if we're going to print some merchandise, we'll be able to sell it off of that store too. And, it's just one of those things. It's fun to say that
we did a thing.
we did a thing. And we're on iTunes. If you still have the link, I'm still working on
We should do a contest.
fixing that link on what?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll flesh that one out. Don't just randomly say shit without any backing information or a full,
you're right.
concise thought.
Okay, but that's how I run most of my life.
That is true.
And I got all the way to get a podcast that potentially has amazing contests.
Speaking of an idea,
Okay.
I brought this up to you a couple weeks ago. I think that we should try doing a watch-along episode
Oh, okay, yeah.
where we watch the we watch this abomination of a Ghostbusters
I
reboot.
rewatched it just out of spite. Hold up.
No, you're bull.
Kate McKinnon is a darling,
She is.
and she is amazing in that movie.
I love her. She's hilarious. She's beautiful. That movie was still pure shit.
Thor was fucking hilarious. He was absolutely amazing.
Okay, let's save it. But I think
Every scene he was in
we need to try
gold.
it. I think it'd be outside the box of what we normally do.
Yeah.
Let us know. Do you think that's a good idea? We're thinking about, here's what I mean. For those of you who don't know, Mark and I are going to sit here. We're going to set up the TV. We're going to watch Ghostbusters, and we are going to comment over it.
Correct.
So that means that
I have it.
That's really sad. That means that you guys are able to go play the movie on your TV, play us. It syncs up. It's like we're in the room with you.
We're in the room with you. It's like a fucking
Ruining the
family
movie.
And maybe we can all fall asleep together.
Absolutely. So that's something we were thinking of, and let us know what you think. If that sounds like a good idea, something you might want to listen to. If nothing else, it'll just be an hour and 30 minutes of like us silently and me once in a while saying, "Oh my God, this is shit."
And then me occasionally yelling, huh?
Right? So anyway, hit the music, Mark. It's disgusting. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Like I said, like, rate, subscribe. Visit tsupodcast.com. We appreciate all the support. We appreciate all the comments and all the love that you leave on our pages. And thank you guys very much for listening. Special thanks to our sponsor, Chico's Bail Bonds. And on behalf of myself, I'm Pete Salas, along with
Mark, the bastard of House Rodriguez. House sigil, laughing crying emoji. House motto, Burr, it's cold in here. There must be some toros in the atmosphere. Rodriguez.
signing off. Have yourselves a very, very happy Taco Tuesday.
Happy Taco Tuesday.
Bye-bye.